Morning Boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of Taptap Send. People, Taptap Send is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana. If you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Taptap Send on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on Taptap Send.
Taptap Send. Send more, spend less.
Young penny for baby say, if you are seeing her, will be ma, will be check. Why not HL? So we'll pay IT, won't be 1 year, so we'll pay support. Slamm Technologies is your number one partner. Your office will US in here, your office will Ghana, so your numbers need go. So we should share IT classes, we will career coaching, we will support for business cybersecurity. Free, na your partner. Your back here, wow. Slamm Technologies, transformation with excellence. Free, baby,
Living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job? Then Adwumapa On-Demand Services is here to assist you. Adwumapa On-Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Adwumapa On-Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.adwumapa.com.
About SVTV Africa Social Live on SVTV Africa Studio site. I'm DJ Nyame Mobi Akwaba Oshaya. Making sure so share live way. I'm on maybe no join a comment section so all question be able be sir. I'll be that to comment section. Him say Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I hope so be on your Fridays be no. I'm in lawyer wisdom akaho program. If you can come on, UK de be no be biba. And never be you can come on. First time I'll share in India. Me time Fridays be I'm in the started 5:30 to 7. And then move share late kakra. Inti mene lawyer wisdom akaho eba be dingo Wiseman Solicitors. He be streaming live so streaming live on YouTube. He be streaming live so TikTok page. And as I say, call live on Facebook, so on SVTV Africa. Inti obetimi join here. Na in this ankom no SVTV Africa. So before that, no me invite lawyer no not just who say so subscribe to your channel, share link no na be join here. And our questions be as na dey be no. You can come on, then echo. Aha, Bata Daniel, welcome on board. Levels never change. Welcome on board. Salome Kwe, welcome on board. Thank you so much for joining the live. Mamo joining, you know, and SVTV Africa fans, the new ones, the old ones, you know. Me train lawyer wisdom, Macau, Wiseman Solicitors. You can sit there. You can go joining. European Union, I'm going joining back and this week in Sensembia course. So lawyer Babe breaking it down. You for no. And then they also. And there's stopping watching, but that's all joining here. Share link, you know. Man, don't watch alone, share. Lawyer buy and I'm the TikTok account. I mean, go Facebook. You have Facebook, so on more share or Facebook, so the Facebook account. Yeah, the Facebook account there is streaming live our Facebook page, you know, so SVTV Africa. Mon share link, you know, share Facebook. You baby see there be get information. I there be wow. Ghana, UK, worldwide, baby. I will be no person who near Koswa SVTV Africa. Yes, you remember also run down no. And share link, you know. So as soon as I the TikTok live back on me train lawyer ba first through we are na me the TikTok na kan na just say you be tie lawyer the obeka kire na just say kwa anisa nti mo ma join in live mamu class mami humu or comment section. Mama joining in, you know, mommy whom or comment section. Hello, hi. Yes, you're back class. Inti, mommy whom or comment section. I share a link. We are very important. Pa, inti, lawyer ba be joining in and check. Sisia obe logi in no wa join in need more lawyer wisdom account mami twa me ho na membra back sisia na any lawyer wisdom account sha.
This Airbnb in Dansoman Estates, Accra, is only $40 a day and offers all the amenities for a comfortable stay. It is also conveniently located 30 minutes away from the airport. We also have 1 and 2 bedroom apartments for long-term rental at English Amamprum, 15 minutes to the Wedge Toll Booth and the West Hills Mall going for 1,500 and 1,000 Ghana cedis only. Call Parry Group on 053-866-3532, 053-866-3532. This is Parry Group of Companies.
Nice. I know subscribe to your channel and now who know bebre na mo share videos no. Last no be kasenya me adwuma mo body SVTV Africa nka by now nka say mo tumi do 1 million subscribers am say bebre na hwe but I reframe mo e mo nye ebi wo o ma subscribe ebi wo mo subscribe e nti no so be mi adoma no so keke ebi an say etwagu obi o nim ti ma me nkyere mo no na just say o miaso a onye o hwe YouTube na onye ya miaso ka adoma bi baba pa se na be the video to so a obenya notification na wa hwe bi enya ade a o subscribe ya jiska obi o ti subscribe no say chale ye betimi yente I say we follow ye mo amuje o Facebook so na mo follow ye page na mo share link na nko so hwe just share ma unu ebi no so nhwe bi ye ba besu ade wa anti me train lawyer wisdom aka Wiseman Solicitors me comment section na me class na kwaba Timothy Ato welcome on board Muhammad Journey nyina Kofi Apia welcome on board mami nkona lawyer ready lawyer wisdom aka Wiseman Solicitors yama kwaba boko there
Boko DJ what to say
me so me o ye pa fantastic yama kwaba since obi ahun ye class no so ya ready yesu ade wa information ti class no so ya ready twen it's a lawyer wa be there anyway this week me so me who be online here there na UK form de bia mu de biba sisi an news ni ye den mo sa ko back na se de na we sisi ano mo ko ba me so abrofo no bi edwalai me who online say bi mo edwalai say labor yes na den you betu et labor na labor you betu den obi se okoto aba bi before Brexit to aba na free mu na den and I feel them then e cause I say soon sound na we kasa and then e cause so am pass UK masa ko join EU ana because over to you.
Yeah, DJ Michel Meju so Meju so who ye Meju say
Me who ye pa
you follow so obia who ye the radio say another Friday is here and we are operating from Studio A Studio 1 Studio A Studio 1 Studio A DJ I hope Ghana is oh the day was Studio A
it's the day come on
the day was Studio A
next man will be on Studio B.
Oh, yeah, been to maybe I heard me.
I'm in TikTok in I'm in for TikTok for the county you.
But you DJ with us it's here for me so bianso and we Adwumapa what the and then so Eddie Achayeng Another weekend is here, and it is just by His grace and His mercies. We thank God for everything. Yes, to send a DJ Ebisayano. News the Prime Minister Ekoye deal with the EU, and a lot of people are not very pleased with it. In terms of the Conservative Party, almost say the UK is giving back power to the EU, but as a matter of fact, the UK is not going back or has not gone back to the EU. I don't see Ma Obia Engine say. Senior, previously UK was a full member of the EU. Na EU for etimi baha abeye juma. UK for etimi ko EU. Any of the EU countries eko juma to settle there. That went on for a very long time. And then after some time, after many years, thank you, the UK left the EU. Now, what the Home Office did, in fact, before UK Union, we had a referendum, and there was a massive vote for the UK Union. The near UK near friend the withdrawal agreement. Harmony EU for a negotiate in terms of a lot of other things. EU for no more, and what rights will they have? How long can they stay here for? When can they get settlement? When can they become citizens? All these things were taken into account. And from the 31st of December 2020, UK officially left the EU. Now, one of the major reasons Cynthia had to do with immigration, and also because of some tariffs and Asikibia Yana Umutia to the EU. One of the major, or one or two of the major reasons in here. Of course, so and you benefit from each other, symbiosis. Now, ufimwa, nyama biwa ubebre. Ti yebekaya, yefimuno, a lot of job shortages ebae. Even truck drivers. Now, there was the need for truck drivers at a point. But somehow, after the withdrawal agreement and things started taking shape, still, there is a huge impact of the UK leaving, a huge impact on the economy of the UK leaving the EU. As a matter of fact, nobody wants to talk about it. In fact, the politicians don't want to talk about it. They don't want to admit, say, a huge impact. They don't want to admit it, and they don't want to talk about it. We are politicians now. Now I hate to say we are anti-Brexit, and say one share you can easily lose your seat. So politicians don't really like to talk about it. Last time, I may share a program, and somebody asked a question as to whether or not they should admit the impact. I should admit the negative impact leaving the EU is having on the UK. And Nipano answer question, he dodged the question totally. One person over committee and say, I can say yes, AMPA. So that is what it is. So the UK left the EU the 31st of December 2020, and they do not and will not intend on going back into the EU. Near Prime Minister, now saying is because the UK is still in the EU or in Europe, let me put it that way, not in the EU economic, but in Europe, and they trade with each other, they trade amongst themselves. And there were tariffs and here and there and difficulties for goods to move in and out, or trade deals. And the Prime Minister or no eco negotiate here and had a deal. It's a new UK-EU deal. A new UK-EU deal. It does not have anything to do with immigration. It has nothing to do with UK nationals going to the EU to settle there and work there. It has got nothing to do with EU for Besai Abakrum had to send in that first now. And it has got nothing to do with immigration and settlements of EU nationals. Near Prime Minister Nuko agree and had to do with the trade economy. One of the deals are on the EU for this tracking and has to do with fishing. Fishing, which means that EU boats can come to the UK waters to fish for up to 12 years. They've given them 12 years extension. And you know, everybody have their territorial waters. And you know, the maritime law, it's there. Level be a whole do you are in the UK waters. Maybe a whole do you are out of the UK waters. And the only agreement said EU countries can trade in or can fish in the UK waters. So it says in return, it said 260 million fishing and coastal growth fund will invest in new technology and equipment. So it says, here's a look at some of the key things in the deal. Some of the key things in the deal. I say 360 million fishing and coastal growth fund will invest in new technology and equipment. In return for extending current fishing rules, the UK has secured a deal to reduce checks on food exports to the EU. The UK has secured a deal to reduce checks on food exports to the EU. UK any European country, there are a lot of checks. So one of the deals is said they'll reduce the checks on the food that is exported to the EU. It's got nothing to do with EU nationals coming to stay in the UK or UK nationals going to live in the EU. No, it's food, fishing. 2, a vast majority of routine border checks on animal and plant equipment to and from EU will be dropped. They used to check on animal and plant equipments, tractors, etc., combined harvesters, etc., will be dropped. They used to check it. They will be dropped now. It has nothing to do with EU nationals coming to stay in the UK. It's got nothing to do with immigration. Another one is the new sanitary and sanitary agreement means the UK can sell raw burgers and sausages back into EU for the first time since Brexit. Now, Brexit nearby, UK was not able to sell burgers and sausages to the EU. So say no, almost lifted that ban, so they can export burgers and sell raw burgers and sausages back into the EU for the first time since Brexit. Under the deal, the UK will be expected to follow EU rules. It does not right overseen by the European Court of Justice, but it can break away if it keeps similar standards and avoids harming EU trade. Now, the UK will be expected to follow EU rules. The UK must obey EU laws. That has to do with this exporting of food products and plant equipment to the EU. And no, any one of the deals are UK government are here with the EU. And yet, UK is going back into the EU, or the EU is back to accept the UK. You can visit, but you can come to settle. I know one of the deals. Deal number 2, defense and security. Defense and security. A formal UK-EU defense and security pact has been established. UK and EU officials will meet every 6 months to talk about defense and foreign policy. Every 6 months, UK and EU officials share normal discussions about defense and foreign policy. Defense and foreign policy. Because of terrorism and as I said, almost here to discuss these matters so that terrorists from one country to the other, or if they have some intelligence something is going to happen in another country, they can share this intelligence. It has nothing to do with EU nationals coming to stay in the UK or UK nationals going to settle in the EU. So the UK is not back into the EU. Both sides will coordinate on sanctions, share more information, and develop a space-related security policy. EU and UK will develop space-related security policy. The UK will join the EU's PESCO and project on military mobility, aimed at speeding troop and equipment movement inside and outside the bloc. If there is a need to move soldiers from one point to another, they can do that quickly. Soldiers from one country to another, it can be done quickly. That is one of the deals our Prime Minister has secured. It is not immigration deal to allow EU nationals to come back to the UK or the UK going back to the EU. Number 3, passport e-gates. British holiday makers will be able to use the e-gates at more European airports. Some of the airports, no, just almost check your passport no physically and send away to me on holiday. But I say no, the e-gates, the e-gates, in this European country. Until we are UK national, no British passports are. You can get when you get to the EU country, you can just use the e-gate. It's in Udu Heathrow and a Gatwick. Now Udu ha. You just stamp your passport on the gates, and then you are the e-gates. Now a BMO, no film. That is what it is going to be in the European countries. So we are UK, new British passport now. You don't have to be subjected to checks. You can just use the e-gates and then you go through. When Brexit ended free movement, UK travelers were shut out from using e-gates. Now the EU Commission says there is no legal barrier to stopping UK nationals using them after the rollout of its long-awaited digital border checks system, which is due to come into effect in October 2025. So from 2025 October, once they roll out this e-gate system, UK4 would do any European country, you can just stop it and go out, spend your time there, come back to the country, back to the UK. Each EU country still decides if UK citizens can use e-gates at its ports, but the government has promised to work to expand access as soon as possible. So that is what it is. UK had here Udu Heathrow. We have British citizens, EU nationals, and young other category. But the UK, the EU, to say no umpayama, Ukra UK passports are go through without any problems. The new passport system will make it easier for UK pets to travel, ending the need for repeat pet certificates. Okay, that is one of the policy and one of the deals now Prime Minister is securing. Electronic gates, and yes, EU or the UK is going back to the EU. Another very important thing a part of the deal here, carbon and energy. The UK and EU will link their carbon markets to avoid taxes on carbon-intensive goods like steel and cement traveling between the UK and EU. The government says it will save 800 million in taxes and shield British steel from EU tariffs, thanks to the UK only deal with 25 million a year. So, and also here, another thing, UK and the EU are secure. There is nothing here. Actually, say EU for wet me assign abatina kromha, and now UK for wet me akotina any European country. Nothing in the deal. Actually, sir. So let me just summarize it again. Fishing, defense and security, a youth experience scheme, a e-gate, a carbon and energy, amongst others. It is not that the UK is going back into the EU for EU nationals to start enjoying the same right that they used to before the Brexit. That will not happen. Well, it may happen, but I don't see it happening anytime soon because of political correctness. I doubt if the UK will go back into the EU. So, wote obebi na obi aka ana eka kyerɛ wo sɛ UK sign akɔ back to the EU. And nti yɛbɛtumi asan akɔware EU foɔ no na yɛde anya yɛasetena ɛwɔ ekurom ha. Ana wobɛtumi aware obi a ɔyɛ EU ni na wobɛtumi de anya yɛasetena wɔ kurom ha. Ɛnyɛ nokorɛ, ɛnyɛ mpa. Ɛnyɛ nokorɛ sɛ UK asan kɔ EU no. Ɛno nso nkyerɛ sɛ wontumi ɛnware EU ni. Wobɛtumi aware EU ni pɛpɛpɛ sɛ ɔdɔ ɛwɔ hɔ a wobɛtumi aware. But sɛ moware wie a yɛde UK mmara ɛna ɛbɛhwɛ application no. Ɛnyɛ EU mmara ɛna ɔmode bɛhwɛ application. UK mmara ɛna yɛde hwɛ. Sɛ moware before Brexit a ɛna yɛ EU mmara. Moware after Brexit a ɛna yɛ UK mmara. Sɛ nipa no ɔbaa no ana ɔbɛrima no kura EU passport mpo a ɛyɛ UK mmara ɛna yɛde bɛhwɛ. Because aware no it was after the Brexit. So that is what it is. UK is not going back into the EU. UK is not going back to the EU. What the Prime Minister has done is not a UK going back to the EU for us to be jubilating. Davy. So that is for your information. The other thing I'll just summarize the changes are eba. Mekai ewo baby recently. I say white paper is not the law. The white paper is not the law, but it is an indication of what is coming. The white paper is not the law, but it tells us what is coming. It tells us what the government is going to do. And as I said, you prepare yourself and prepare your mind as to what is going to happen, and you prepare for it. Now, summary of near white paper no. Me kind the other time, but I kind you. Me kind something about the what is a white paper. White paper, I made you understand, sir, it's a document which outlines the government's views on certain things and their philosophy on it and how to solve that. And in their government, their view or their policy on certain problems are in the system and how they intend to solve those problems. And no any near a white paper. It is not the law. It has not become law yet, but it tells us what is going to come. I don't take set. Oh yeah, and that will be a tell them it's not the law yet. The white paper is not yet law. So what were the changes? I said this last week, but I'll just quickly go through again. Increased salary threshold for skilled workers. The government intends to increase the salary threshold for skilled workers. This will rise, all those specific numbers on our figures have not been given yet. The figures are but see a Number 2, end of overseas social care recruitment. Health and care for you have to recruit from inside the UK, not from outside the UK, up until 2028. And the embargo and a ban to recruitment from outside the UK up to 2028. That is for health and care for. Other sectors can still recruit. Construction can still recruit. IT can still recruit. Cyber security can still recruit. let's say hospitality industry can still recruit, and all other sectors can still recruit. But the health and care for no muna, yes, say you cannot recruit from outside until 2028, unless over to me actually say why advert, why interviews in the whole of England. Now, obviously, when ya ubia over to me, yes, I do now will say when you say, you know, when ya ubia, over to me, yes, I do know, and no thing I will know who person will be free outside ever. It's going to be difficult for you to prove that. At the whole of England, except from outside, it's going to be difficult to prove. So what they are saying is, so recruit from inside the UK, recruit from inside the UK, not from outside. The health and care for into any skilled worker sponsorship, let's say construction, let's say from IT, teaching, etc., you can still come to the UK to do it without any problems. So that is for your information. Another thing is an increase in immigration skills charge. The charge paid by employers sponsoring overseas workers will increase by 32 to incentivize investments in the domestic sector. In other words, sir, we employer now who percent that is fee paid by overseas who percent who sponsor or be from overseas, and now even people in there's a fee the government charges, they are going to increase it by 32%. We don't know the figure yet, so let's wait and see what it is. Workforce strategy sectors with high level of overseas recruitment will require workforce strategies outlining how employers will invest in domestic and skill training. That's just another thing. Refugee employment. I'm gonna see more refugee leave. So a few of them will be given the right to work in the UK. Highly skilled routes. That includes, yeah, that is what it is. Highly skilled routes for high potential individuals. High potential individuals. And so another thing, we are waiting for details now to see what it would entail. Now the graduate route, Home Office for say, I'm gonna reduce it 2 years now, 24 months. I'm gonna 18 months. They're gonna reduce from 24 months to 18 months for the graduate route. That is for your information. Stricter sponsor requirement. Higher education institutions sponsoring international students will face strengthened compliance requirements and a new red, amber, green banding system. And universities will now have to show more, they have to comply with a lot more requirements that say, I'm going to school, and yes, sir, I'm going to do then they disappear. But the problem there is, do now university to me, we don't know. Bereaved parent route. A new change we are almost say. So we are about time a parent who will chrome her, and as a result of being here on the parent route 2.5 years, Nasa minka sama sebi se uban efimua and what will happen is as I said, indefinitely straight away, and yet 2.5 now amu ever mount, and see if you over 2.5 years so based on uba not se uban efimua. The Home Office said you go straight to indefinite leave, not on the 2.5 years. So that is for your information. And we have bereaved parent route. Settlement and citizenship. Longer route to settlement, standard qualifying period for indefinite leave to double from 5 to 10 years for most work routes. Now, for work routes, not for family routes. And younger the skilled worker no so health and care no so IT no so etc. no so Amuna Omogen said they want to take it to 10 years, not the family, not husband and wife. They are talking about the work-related ones, not family ones. So I don't think we should all be scared or we should be worried that it's going to affect the families. We hope not. They are capable of doing anything though, but we hope this will not affect the families. It is going to be too harsh to change from 5 years to 10 years for a married couple. Sekano Eniho Science, we hope it doesn't work that way. We hope it doesn't happen that way. So that is for your information. Now, as we speak, we hope that the changes will not have retrospective effect. The changes will not have retrospective effect. I mean, the changes will not take effect from behind. In other words, old rule old law, we can continue on the same rules and not be affected by the new changes that will come. Example, the 18,600 pounds financial requirement by Emrane Sisaya Echo 29,000, yet that's so 18,600 now, which means that the changes did not take retrospective effect and country and quantifactia. At young Iowa Mutitano, my hope is that in society it will not have a negative backward effect on us. So let's take note of that. Now, the other thing I can say, end settlement. Individuals may have the opportunity to shorten the qualifying period for indefinite leave and citizenship based on demonstrable contributions to the UK economy and society. I must say, what they contribute in the UK economy and society, instead of doing a very long period of time, they will shorten it for you. We don't know what the criteria is going to be. Yenimnia almost yet. Yenimnia edibate markets market will script. Yenim the marking scheme. We don't know it yet until we have to wait until sir the details no ebeba near on say when almost when and son on say uno over the long route and now over the short route. So that is also something we have to take note of. So on the point-based system so ever the citizenship and the settlement home. Now, point-based system, it just said over score points. You have to score points. Example, I used students the last time. So, back Roman as a student, you need 70 points. 50 points a year, CAS, confirmation of acceptance to study, letter from the university, a 50. 10 points, any year your financial, and at 10 points, a year your English language. Now, with this, you've scored 70 points. Almost person already enough ever share indefinite and a citizenship. ABR met me and said, sir, what did that Chrome have for this number of years? What score 10 points? Who need a criminal recorder? What score 10 points? What show English language now? That is 10 points. Of course, you are working, you earn maybe 30,000 pounds. That is maybe 20 points. Now, Oma idea up 50 points. Actually, say wait me for your indefinite leave to remain. So one score point now, want to conquer you indefinite leave to remain. That is my suspicion because they want to introduce the point-based system into the indefinite leave to remain and British citizenship application. And so who are qualified for indefinite. Now, Mesro said, but modern na ayan and tam. And yes, sir, it can create all kinds of problems for you if the laws change. Another very important thing, person become assembly. Very important. Very important. E-visa. I'm from the digital visa system, the e-visa. Now the e-visa now I'm with the airban. I'm gonna see. Rollout of a universal e-visa platform to record entries and exits, providing real-time data to relevant authorities for compliance checks. The proposals indicate significant tightening of the UK's immigration policies, focusing on reducing overall numbers, prioritizing higher skilled workers, and increasing the emphasis on immigration and compliance. Many of these changes will require further legislation and amendments to immigration rules to be implemented. Miankasa Nientiasia. If it's an a system of its own, it's an electronic system. I bet me now you overstay, they will know. What call now the info from the call, it wouldn't info for bar, they will know. Your fingerprints have been captured, your eyelids have been captured, your facial recognition has been captured. I don't say so name now you default short of this, you easily be picked up. Now, near air courses, everything is being gadgeted. The system is being gadgeted. Let me be very honest with you. And so it's going to be easy for them to pick up or pick out criminals. If you have some offense, they'll easily pick you out. Easy. Now, Mene Obi Ekasaya recently, in fact, just some hours ago, I know now or you see a dimfufro and or the year baby. And also use a dimfufro a year near fufro. Now, near Essiness, you're born in Sano, a war, a dimba kusu. And dimba, the other name now, or the year, a Jumano, Omo Ehunse, and your honor. And immigration for already or Omo Cheno. Omo Cheno, no, you're born in Sano. Onimse, a war system. No, and non to be say, yeah, Home Office for a chain of biomono. In fact, or the big cratana at the air juma and see Omo chain on Omo the nickel court. As a set of a court, no. As a set of buy a court, no. Mammy, you of a court, no one court. Ojani. Mammy, Ojani. That was there are different scenarios with other people which are men, but in this particular case, Obano, she escaped, and the Home Office was an absconder. You have absconded, and or church is not on baby, not omo parky van woho van na omo parky woho, not knowing it was reading facial, it was taking facial recognition, and omo in a certain radius behind na a trap picture of your name, or no, unfortunately for no. Okofa hono and a capture the name. Say a capture in the facial recognition because the biometric the facial recognition a ding that dana or the age man a sardine a PNT a honena straight away. Police phone a cross I'm born a ding straight away, just like that. I say, only Mr. So and so. One we only Mrs. So and so want me and deny because or they say no. And now, Ojani, if you believe, and as I didn't know, Omodi action is to say, make us say, yeah, boy, whom what is say, you be in detention. Now, the system is changing. In fact, the system has changed. Facial recognition everywhere. They are not populating it everywhere. I don't see it's also a check for us to sit, to be alert, to do the right things and not the wrong things. The DJ. I think I'm going to leave it here. Then I'll take a few questions, just very few questions. Then I can roll on to my other program if the need be. DJ, so those are the changes coming in, and I'll take questions. Drew for her, Mr. Brofo, where they? What documents do you need for use of my application, and how early can you do it? Do I need to write live in the UK test and English test after a master's degree here in the UK? Now, for your EU settlement scheme, you don't need to write the English test. You don't need to write English test for settlement scheme, but you need to write the English test for your British citizenship, and you do the live in the UK test for your British citizenship. If you have your master's, you don't need to do the English test. If you have the master's in the UK, you don't need to do the English test because the master's is acceptable. Documents, proof that you've lived in the UK for 5 years, gas, water, electricity, bank statement, TV license, medical records, voting poll cards, etc., etc. Anything that shows that you've been in the UK for 5 years and the EU national has been in the UK for 5 years is very good enough. Ahin Boni Abinahai, I want to find out if the care workers who are on 5 years visa will be affected in the new rules. In fact, like I said, they would normally not take the rules retrospectively to take effect from behind, and therefore we hope that they should be protected. It's our hope. Let's see what details they'll bring. But normally they do not make the rules go back. They make it take effect from when it starts. In that case, you should not be affected. We hope so. I can't be too sure. I can only talk about the experiences of the past. They do not normally take it backwards. So we hope it will not affect you. Hi, Gizzy. Good evening. I have 3 years more to apply for my indefinite leave. Can I write live in the UK test in advance in anticipation? Then yes, I would advise you to do the live in the UK test now and keep it, because it's going to change and they're going to keep reviewing it, which means if you're not careful, by the time you do it, it's already taken effect. So do it now, keep it safe, and you can use it when the time is out for your British citizenship. Mom and child are both due for a EU settled status under EU law, all right? Is it okay to apply for the child settled status if the mom wants to wait for the automatic update? What evidence can the child use? Usually it is advisable, follow up to date. Okay. The child is a stepchild to the dad who is an EU national. The child is dependent based on mom's marriage to the dad. Usually the Home Office will grant what they grant the child's mother. There were occasions where they would give you the indefinitely based on the EU national, even if they were your stepdad. And then they stopped. They rather give it to you based on your biological parents' status. So if the biological parent was 5 years, they give the child 5 years pre-settled status until the biological parent is going for the indefinite. I would advise you to wait for automatic grant. And it is very likely if the mother doesn't have it, they may refuse the child's own because they'll tell you the child cannot get a higher status than the mother. So if the mother is eligible, she must just go for it. If not, wait. When it is time, the 5 years, do yours and the child's together, and I believe it should be fine. K Jamo, J Kamo, hi. Oh, I haven't taken the other one. Yes, the child is okay. Thank you. I've just added it to. Thank you so much. Abredu Kwame, hi, Papa Abredu, Huyedi. Please, after definitely level to remain, after indefinite leave to remain, I want to go for British passport. Will I write any exam? Well, the indefinite leave, you can get it by 2 means. 1, through the EU law. 2, through the UK rules. If you get it through the EU rules, you have to do the English B1, which they are going to take to B2, and the life in the UK test. Because under the EU rules, you don't do the tests before you get your indefinite. But if you're going to go for your British citizenship, you have to do the tests, the 2 tests, the life in the UK test and the B1, unless you have a degree or a master's, etc. But if you got it through the British rules, which is 2.5, 5 years, or 2.5, 10 years, it means before you got the indefinite, you have already written the English language test and the life in the UK test. In that case, you do not have to write it again. The same certificates or the same information, the same records you use for the indefinite, you use the same certificate for your British citizenship. So under the EU law, yes, you do the English B1, you do the life in the UK test. Under the UK law, once you've done for your indefinite, you don't have to do it again for your citizenship. Thank you. Any update on students on government sponsorship? Can they bring their spouses to the UK? I believe it's on government sponsorship. Yes, as it stands, yes, you can. And there is no change on that yet. I haven't seen any change, but after this program, I'll check again and see if there's any change. I was in Dawson Market today, and there was a facial recognition van just opposite the. Thank you, Kofi Apia. Thank you so much. That is what is going on. The vans are being populated over the place. Thank you for confirming this. The facial recognition vans are being positioned. Not just a traveling picture. Wona ye hwehwe wono, wona wadwane, wo visa application, ye traveling, ye travel nsano, wo buy no anko. Okay, and the chupe, a traveling problem say, wo buy no anko. Now you are on the record. They can easily track you. A serious thing now, Amudi Airline. Let's all be fully informed. Laurentia, hi, Mama Laurentia. Kwachi Ansong. I am a nurse and my husband is a marine engineer who doesn't work for the UK company. Will it affect my husband's indefinite leave? Please. Has he got what does he go right now? You're a nurse and my husband is a marine engineer who does not work for a UK company. Will it? I don't know. Does he stay here? Does he live here, or he goes and comes? I need to know. And if he goes and comes, how long does he stay out for, etc., etc. I need a little more details, or you can call me or WhatsApp me later. I can give you some details. Kwame Kusi, hi, my brother. I hope you're doing good. Good evening to you. When will e-visa take effect? The e-visa is taking effect. The deadline is the 1st of June, the 1st of June. Today is the 23rd. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days to go. 9 days to go. Yes, sir. Do your e-visa because 9 days to go. And the Home Office have said this is their last extension. So please do it. Please do it. Thank you. Nana Prempe, good evening. Can a caution a friend received in 2015, theft and assault, affect his naturalization application, and how long does it take to get a decision? It takes 6 months to get a decision. Caution and assault, theft and assault with a caution, that could. This is an out of court disposal, so it could take, was it 2015? Yeah, that is quite some time now. So about getting up to 10 years. So that may not affect, but that may not affect the application. But they will ask you, do you have any such records? You have to declare it. Say yes. Once you declare it, they will ask you what it is. You can talk about, you can just say for theft and assault in 2015. Was there any fine? No fine, but caution. That should be fine with you. If you do not declare it, they will find out and they will use the non-declarance against you. For not declaring it, they'll use that against you. So you have to declare it. How can I separate from my unmarried partner? We both came to the UK. Angelina Usia, how can I separate from my unmarried partner? We both came to the UK. How you can separate is to separate. If the relationship is not working anymore, that is what it is. But I think you want to know how you can get your leave to remain apart from your unmarried partner. Well, if you are not married, then there is no need for a divorce. In fact, there is no requirement for a divorce if you are not married. If you found another relationship and you want to move into that, then of course you can always make application based on that route. Or also, if you want to get a sponsor, you can move to the sponsorship route. It can be IT and any of the ones I've mentioned about health and care, IT. It can also be teaching, etc., etc. You can always get a different sponsor and move so that you'll be on your own. You are not based on the unmarried partner. Again, because you are not married, there is no requirement for a divorce. You don't have to produce any divorce certificate because you are not married. FJ Anoche, hi. Good evening. If you're married to a UK citizen and a 5-year spouse rule, would there be any changes? So far, nothing has been said. It does not appear that the focus is on those who are married to the UK citizens. We have not seen anything in the white paper which says that they are going to change any rules for the family route. So far, it is the skilled worker route or the worker route that they are talking about. So let's hope that nothing would affect those of you who are on the UK rules 5-year rule as a spouse. Hello, Mama Laurentia again. My husband goes on 5 months contract and comes back. He has his BRP and visa as my dependent. Yes, there is a requirement not to be out of the UK for more than 180 days in a year. 365 divided by 2, so 180 days in a year. So 180 days is how many? That's about 6 months, I think. Yes. So the requirement is not more than 180 days in a year. So if he's doing 5 months in and out, and it still shows that this is his presence, this is where he lives, I think that can be considered as well. So clearly, it should not affect him because it's under the 180 days a year. But we can talk a little more after this, or you can call me on Tuesday and we can discuss. I can refer you to where to get some information on that. Lawyer, if your sponsor license is revoked and your 60 days expires, what can you do? Unfortunately, you have become an overstayer. You can go back to your home country if nothing seems to be working here for you, or if you don't find any other options, then it becomes very difficult for you to remain here in the UK. And therefore, you may just want to go back home. Or if your sponsor's license is revoked, the 60 days has expired. But maybe, fortunately for you, you are in a relationship and there is a child in that relationship, and the child is your child. You can make an application based on your child if the child is a British citizen because the other part, the mother is British or the mother has indefinite. In that case, you are able to make your application based on your child as a parent. Or if you get married, they can only be married after you are divorced. If there is marriage after a divorce, genuine relationship, let me put the word genuine for you to understand, it's not a sham marriage, it's a genuine marriage, and the person has a child, you become the step parent to that child. Again, you can make your application based on that relationship. It has to be a genuine relationship. Thank you. Or you can stay in the UK for 20 years. If you're able to remain here for 20 years, then yes, you can also apply on that basis. Nana Amma, do EU nationals need the e-visa even though they have the settlement? Well, EU nationals, as I have mentioned before on previous occasions or previous programs, they already have the account created for them. So please go online, enter your details, your passport or your biometric card. In the go to view e-visa, click that. It says sign in. Click that, enter your passport details, and then you enter your birth. You click that, it brings you your date of birth. You enter. If it is already there for you, you will see it. If it is not there, you will see it. Or if you have to link your passport to the account, you can do it. Majority or almost all EU nationals have the account already created for them by the Home Office. The only thing that is left is either you have to link your ID to the account or it is already done for you. So please go and check it. Go to Google, enter view e-visas. View e-visas. Click that. When you click it, it will give you a window. It says sign in. Click that. It will ask you for which document did you use. Did you use your passport, your national ID card, or biometric card? The document you use for your application or you send to the Home Office, use that one. Enter the number and then you click next. It will ask you to put your date of birth. Enter that. Click next. If it is already there, your face and everything would appear that you already have it. If it is not there, then you have to quickly link your ID to your account. Thank you. At what age can a child who came to the UK?
Before me more to ask no, maminka we answer. I will share live or a channel no so SVTV Africa or YouTube. So as you stream or Facebook so SVTV Africa and you stream or TikTok SVTV Africa. Or question be about so be lawyer how they TikToker. Ontimi ya no. The question be to screen so you see how share from on SVTV by way a copy or me try copy or TikTok. It is also joining a YouTube channel, call a profile page and so TikTok for American who call a profile page and so TikToker about say YouTube or click here share program with life. Or question be also be lawyer obetime be sometimes it be a phone line money ne kasani ade and say ni I try na edit TikTok count. E bi mo wa mo ni mo share videos short or bo mo nim say videos nankasa or YouTube page anti or share short teasers or a videos nankasa or YouTube page. One mo share or TikTok na make a chairman. Into lawyer Tiaso.
Yo, I'll just take a few more questions. At what age can a child who came to the UK under 1 and currently 4 apply for stay? It depends on what visa the child came on, maybe with the parents or with any others round. It's 7 years. The child has to be in the UK for 7 years. So if they came at 1, they have to be 8. And then we could proceed with the application for them. Right. So, Eugene Amponsa, hi, my brother, how are you? It's about the documents for indefinite leave to apply application. You talked about providing bills. What about those who pay all inclusive? Yeah, that's a good question. Those who pay all inclusive would not have bills, but you have other things. You can have a bank statement. Your bank statement can prove that you have been in the UK for 5 years. Your pay slips will show that you worked for 5 years. Your P60. Now, if you use P60, all you need is 5 P60s because a P60 for a year, you don't have to carry a long list of P60s or a long list of you don't have to add a long list of pay slips and bank statements to the P60s. P60 is for a year, and therefore all you need to do is scan and upload 5 P60s to represent the 5 years. That is good. And if you can't get the 5 P60s, you can use some pay slips to cover the gaps where you can't find your P60. You can also get your HMRC records. If you work, call the HMRC, ask them for your employment history or your national insurance contribution. They will tell you that you have worked in the UK for, let's say, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. When you send that to the Home Office, it will reflect that you have actually been in the UK for 5 years. You should be given your indefinite leave to remain. Lukman Kasim, hi, Lukman, how are you? I have only 6 months remaining for my pre-settled status to expire. Can I travel for 2 months? I'm trying to reach you, but making it difficult. Yeah, call the office number. Yes, you can travel. Just make sure you come back before it expires. Otherwise, you have difficulty in your renewal. Yes, you can travel, but make sure you come back before it expires. Thank you very, very much. Ahim, that is Ahin Bonnie Abena again. If you are married to a UK national and you're under 5 years care visa and you change your name to his name, it's necessary to keep your old, of course, you can always keep your old passport. The marriage certificate shows that you've married, but you haven't changed, you've changed your name to your husband's name, or you still keep your old passport. However, for consistency's sake, you can decide to just make a new Ghana passport, change it into your husband's name, so you don't have problems. When you travel and you're coming back, your visa is in one name, your passport is in another name. You can, of course, make a new passport bearing your new name, which has your husband's name. I see Adwumapa. There was a break when my first 2.5 years expired. This occurred because my then lawyer did not reply to the Home Office request when they sent him a letter to say the application is incomplete. Eventually, the application was returned without any decision being taken. What can be done, please? From 15th August 2014 to 15th of February 2017. From, well, that's a long list of dates for me. Well, I'll just summarize it to say, if there was a break, then it will normally affect the 10 years continuous residence in the UK. However, if you switched from the 10 years to the 5 years, and it is on 2.5 years, 5-year route, 2.5 years, 5-year route, you don't have to worry about that break as long as the 5-year route started after the 2.5 years break. But of course, you can give me more details or call me afterwards that I can explain it to you better. But if the break is after the Home Office return your documents to you, and I'm sure the leave expired before you sent it back, then the 2.5 years you've done will go waste. You have to start the time all over again. Your dates are many. Call me back later. We can talk. Drew Boafo, to be sure, are you saying I don't need to write a life in the UK test for EU settled status? 100%. 100%. You don't write life in the UK test for EU settled status application. 100%. No English language, no life in the UK test for EU settled status application. But you would need it for your British citizenship application. All right. Prophetic Ministry Hub. I had my asylum application refused and I met my partner who is from EU and settled in the UK. Can I make application in regards to that? Does she have a child? Are you a stepfather to the child? Are you married yet? If not, you can marry, but you cannot apply because you are here unlawfully. You don't have a valid visa and therefore you cannot apply here. You may have to go back home and then return to the UK later. So that is for your information. That is for your information. That is for your information. You can marry, but you may have to go out to apply to come back in. Tanda Akwesi. Hello, Tanda. Why check your home? Now, if after 7 days of marriage, giving notice and Home Office call for interview and they give me go ahead to marry, can they come to the marriage ceremony? It's not impossible. It's not impossible. Say on the marriage ceremony, and I'll say, bear with me, please.
All right, it was a formal share many lawyer Wisdom Wiseman Solicitors every Friday. Be a minute or I say from 5:30 to 7. I'm in the program. Well, first time I'll share in here. And internet and make us subscribe to your channel. No, I don't want to send about live. I'll be alert notification say about live. Every Fridays be a minute a year. I say Wiseman Solicitors, lawyer Wisdom Akao. Share with YouTuber. Make sure so be joining or be subscribe to your channel. So also you stream live on Facebook. We share link no among you be. So there ha. Tomorrow join the class. And we share mamu nu be mo. Send a be it's information. We see information is key. Only info. You know the inside. Once we back we no be trying throw ni ade see TB. UTB a bebo. It's a very good information, a very important. In streaming live, so TikTok, SVTV Africa. So into more share what TikTok so nyano. Me won't say be more share all the comments near there, but intimate kind or YouTube page. I'll follow you or wait me the question about sometimes it be a phone line. Be what programs be what or maybe a phone line or one person be send questions there no or be send a program with so them say and you try say your boy home modern say the educative things bremos and I'm with me the two and more abrabum and very important and yeah me team we all baby say yes then boy I mean feel way yes say almost started program will be brain no bebre na be kan de bia say program we aboa me ma enya maybe yo ana me nim ni ade me ametimi aye ma ade metimi aye se eboa itu tie bia ebeboa ma me take a few ones na me signing out me lawyer so lawyer questions.
DJ Obi Bisa something about there was a question before this one.
That what the answer is so answer that prophetic DNA.
Was it prophetic?
I think it's a question I made them away and attend that there no. Wait.
Yes. 70 days married. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Tender, Diana. Yes, Tender. It is possible they can come, but once I'm out, me said the registrar, no, I any homework, why checks, no, why satisfied, say a genuine relationship. And a home office phone, so I checks. Say a genuine relationship. And in the American say some more pictures and not evidence everybody some a general relationship you don't have to necessarily carry on you but a better phone so that in the events that will be baby you can show them that it's a general relation. I hope you'll be fine. I don't think you should worry about it. Once go ahead now. I strongly believe that you should be fine. So tender, if they come there, you have to tender them, so that they will not disturb you. All right, Stephen Anani, please call your uncle sponsor to please can your uncle sponsor you to study in the UK when you are married? Why not? I would normally advise say bibisa o uncle no on sika no building account ne emma now you have access to it. Ubedu here na sika no or no ebe here so no na besa niama yes, my main can say because normally they want the evidence to be in your account or in your parents' account. Say enye year enye my uncle no onfa evidence no into wo account mo na I just said when your document everything is gone through na uko wia and overdo here your uncle has access to the funds or let me transfer with sika any bibia eti amount without any problems. So thank you. Frank Piazza Chum. Hello, Uncle Sam. I hope you are in Ghana. I hope you are doing well. Are you in Ghana or you are here? I switched. Oh, thank you. You are here. I switched my children dependent visa to indefinite leave to remain as a British citizen. Can I switch my children's dependent visa to indefinitely to remain as a British citizen? I don't understand. If you are a British citizen and your children are here as dependents, were they born here? If they were not born here, then you have to register them as British citizens after they've got their indefinite leave to remain. Before you can switch them to British, you can register them as British citizens. So we need to know what it is. We need to know what it is before you can. I need to know a few details as to whether they were born here, if they came here from Ghana, what visa did they come with, how long have they been here. I need to know some of these things before we can advise, because those children who were not born in the UK, you have to register them under Section 3.1 of the British Nationality Act 1981. Those who were born here, you have to register them. If they had a leave, they had no leave before their parent later got indefinite leave. Come on. Then in that case, you would have to, of course, register them depending on the circumstances. So yes, sorry. Some people call non-stop. All right. So I have my EU passport and live in the UK for over 9 years. Do I have to do the e-visa? As long as you have the settled status, like I said already, you are either automatically, the account is automatically created for you, or you have to create it. You have to link your ID to the account yourself. So it is either automatically created for you, or you have to link the ID to the account yourself. So Nancy Mingo, hi Nancy, how are you? My daughter is on 2.5 years road, and my partner, who happens to be their stepfather, is a British citizen. How can my daughter change to have indefinite leave dependent on her stepfather? If your daughter has 2.5 years, is it 2.5 years? Is it saying indefinite leave to enter or 2.5 years limited leave to enter? I want the question again is it indefinite leave to enter, which is for the 2.5 years period, or it is actually 2.5 years limited leave to enter in line with your own? If it is 2.5 years limited leave to enter or remain, if it is 2.5 years limited leave to remain in the UK, then the child will have the same period as you, the parent. When you go for your indefinite, that is when you go for, the child will also go for their indefinite. But if the child has indefinite leave to enter, they do not need to wait for you to get your indefinite leave. Let me clarify this. It may be confusing. If the child is your child, as you have stated, and you are on 2.5 years limited leave to remain, your child will also be on the 2.5 years limited leave to remain, just as you have. When you're going for your indefinite, your child may not have done 5 years, but the child can go with indefinite together with you. So maybe you came here 2.5 years, you have done 1 year, the child has come to join you, you finish that 1.5 years with the child, and you go for another 2.5 years with the child. When you're finishing and you're going for your indefinite, you go together with the child. So that it is. That is what it is. They will give you, or they give the child 2.5 years just as you have. And when the child, you're going for your indefinite, you also go with the child. Okay? Prophetic heart. Please, my settled partner is not married. My settled partner is not married and does not have any child. And in a scenario, can you make an application as an unmarried partner? The problem is because your visa has expired, you can make the application, but it will be refused unless there is something in addition, an exception. And we have two exceptions. The first exception is there is a child involved. In your case, there is no child. The second exception is there is an insurmountable obstacle, which means there is maybe some medical problem. And nothing that want to make empty or banning because it affecting the health. So medical problem be any and abufran so any what is any wakana. And no, we application now. Refusing because we were sitting on and you and we are a different matter, but a were then it puts you in a different category altogether. Sorry, yeah. Ajibo. Okay, thank you. Please, which immigration rules say when you can switch from 10 years to 5 years time already spent do not count? Which immigration rules say when you switch from 10 years route to 5 years route, time already spent do not count? Well, go to Appendix FM, section Leave to Remain, LTR, either P or PT, section LTRP or section LTRPT, Leave to Remain as a parent or leave to remain as a partner. Immigration rules, appendix. Now, when you go there, it specifies the requirements for you. Now, if you are on the 10-year route, you continue with the 10-year route. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. 4 times, you go for indefinite. If you move from the 10 years to the 5-year route, you are starting the 5-year route from the start. So the one you spent on the 10-year route would only count towards a 10-year route application. But the one you spent on the 10-year route will not count towards the 5-year route. So that is what it is. You can go online and Google, go to the appendixes, check the suitability, check the eligibility, and then check the guidance notes, Home Office guidance notes on settlement rules. Read that, it will give you the information you need. Thank you. Nelson Esiedu, my status has expired in Germany, but I have an address. Can I apply for masters in UK or I need to return to Ghana first? Oh, Mr. Esiedu, normally if you're making an application from any country, the UK wants to see that you are in that country legally. You are in that country legally. So if you are not in Germany legally, they will not process your application. So it is required that you go back to your home country and then you apply to come to the UK to study. Quincy, I would like to know if a dependent on a graduate visa qualifies for tax relief. Are you talking about benefits? Are you talking about public funds or tax relief? As for tax reliefs, I will not dare to answer. I will refer you to my accountant so that he can help you with that. I will not give you any wrong information. So please speak to an accountant and they can help you. But I know if it is benefits, then the answer is no. If it is public funds, the answer is no. If it is tax relief, I can't answer that one because I don't know. But you can speak to an accountant or you can call me. I give you my accountant's details. You can speak to him and he would explain things to you. Thank you very much. Hello, Ibrahim. Under 20 years family life application currently without any status, can I use fee waiver? Yes, you can do a fee waiver. You can do a fee waiver for 20 years long residence application. What you do is you apply for fee waiver, tell them you don't have money. Maybe somebody is supporting you or people give you bits and pieces, £5, £20, £30 here and there. And you can use that to prove to them that you don't have money to pay the Home Office fee and you don't have money to pay the IHS. The total fee today, as I speak, is £1,321. The IHS is £2,587.50p. If you put the two together, it's £3,908.50p. That is almost £4,000. £4,000. If you don't have it, do the fee waiver. They would assess your situation, your condition, and it's kind to say, yes, go ahead with the fee waiver. They give you the code, you apply, and then you can get your stay in the UK after a year or so. So that is what it is. DJ, thank
Lawyer
you.
Wisdom Akao, Wiseman Solicitors, if that's it, and they are big. Thank God it's Friday. I hope someone will share and Abuamo lawyer or office location. Lawyer and the contact number and the screen so no. Wiseman Solicitors, office number no and a phone number no so mobile number no so lawyer or office location. London, Dawson Junction.
Yes.
Behind the Dawson Market. McDonald's Junction.
Behind the McDonald's, close to the Dawson Market, not in the Dawson Market. Yes, so yes, not in the Dawson Market, but close to the Dawson Market. So that is where
by mistake, no nipa no market no dia umbisa wana.
Umbisa Adwa, umbisa Money Matters, umbisa umbisa KT Restaurant, umbisa anywhere, any umbisa Muhammad, the tailor no, mumbisa bisa. We also ask for Lawyer Wisdom, Wiseman Solicitors. You were behind the market, behind the McDonald's. The McDonald's is close to the market, and then we are behind them. There's a huge building here, and we have different offices in there. We are in one of those offices. We are in two of those offices. Yeah, Wiseman Solicitors, 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, 8 to 9 the Print House, E8 3DL, your Dalston Junction, E8 3DL. Telephone number 0208 0165 384. 0208 0165 384. Mobile number is 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. Thank you very much. DJ Namaru Lola next week. Next week. Namaru Name Agbela. Nanusia no jeji. Mon mochuni onlo.
Mochum. Kedano nabi. No go over to munyunga.
Okay. Okay,
Kedano nabi. No go over to munyunga.
Oh, Maune Job.
Lawyer Wisdom Akao, Wiseman Solicitors, with that say. Minim say then next week metal on studio B into my heading. Obin full lawyer, champion man, lawyer Wisdom Macau, Wiseman Solicitors, number 10, and can every Fridays be, I mean, no, I don't say, some of joining your videos were a page, you know, so following, I hope I saw me show Subia, maybe numbers there. My numbers, the whole YouTube share YouTube, I'll call profile page, you know, numbers, no, and now so bet me saving number way, ocean was screen, so no bet me save or WhatsApp, so, you can say WhatsApp, so +233-244-790902, and I say +233-240-677-898. 2 numbers way, and you know, be your voice note, and also send a WhatsApp message, and how on frame it, me the old frame ya, we disappointed, but to send me a message there, me respond it, and I will just voice note me respond. Me the one some share SVTV Africa fans your videos so how more acquaint you more Ghana more businesses near there Ghana. Me no mudi nkomo business link so ho aboankofo be hwe bi ebe boa o e bi wa adwum de bi ameka se hwe nyama e be educate you. We are your mom hwe nyina benefit you they will know their left right. But obi wo a ko hwe e di atam nsem hunu nko a say Oko TikTok so abebri na agro comedy get video be atem. What you go get from that? Unko ni learn. See educative program obi ni obi kasa bibi ebetimi ama idea bi anase we odbebo brand very important. Omomo aso ebeti. Madam I say some share FM DJ nya madam production team asema mo join the class na nyina madam I say me ma shout out ne me who baby so much church or me want some join here TikTok fans who your videos for TikTok short ones where pages so bet me follow you but full videos no and YouTube or teasers need to go TikTok and sometimes no be on your Facebook or teasers be or short videos and a link ne that's true e bi mo ha amun read kakra link ne da ya tro we wo she full video but we can say oh your videos are nice I like that is educative but it's short and so link that oh yeah. Anyway, so over to me join where YouTube or Hona a warehouse no. Hona a server or Hona action or na bibia o ni wi na distribute. Nti u join here or home information bi ni ade no benya. Subscribe to your channel na eba live or benya notification wa join in them. Sometimes it be a phone line na one lawyer din komo. Yen share next week say when me paba bet me be a phone line and I'm a friend no the obese obisa no moment me and type it and you be an obese me type it but obese only didn't come so bet me follow up so the numbers there 2 screens so me dem say TikTok for munyina me dem say Charlie me signing out for TikTok me signing out me dem say mo share me live and nyina me dem say big shout out to the whole team SVTV Africa fans me dem say Facebook for big shout out to mo share on Facebook I'm share and I'm share mon follow and me interviews kakra bi mon hwe bi brand ba ko obesua de go copy of South Korea me ne brand ba ko so bi UK Eric nso mon go ti bebre ebe ma ideas utie we dey na tap bi na utro na unya information na unya info unya some mistakes because uti the oye ni ade na mistake bi obi here na utie bi na so we correct ho what you say nti usua de a beboa madam answer mo share mami sign out just say the next video we but videos were page if I share first video we are more videos or videos there dozen over 7,000 videos obi ka tell me say I watch all your videos no be true. What should be, but ultimately training over 7,000 videos. Archives in there, the end there, any day. Ghetto life near them. You say be a baby, be a ghetto life story. My segments my baby. Drug addicts, then hook up, then name it, baby. Market women, then by ye baby, name it. A dos or dos rodo. Iti beda was video so dey o sha obeboa o me ha no dey me ni obi akasa nti sana me ka obeso ba me show no so bia ye na me say o profile page no so no obetimi a WhatsApp me ana say voice note you know we so dey o fam dey wa fam dey we sua abrabo mu nkomo be bia bi star bia bi business then how ye be din nkomo o hwehwe obi so am SVTV Africa Connect echa me drop esa video no abrante ba call for UK or busy with UK, no so should be recently me interview my mo share no. I mean the update be bremo on SVTV Africa. So nyame adom na obi hu sa video no. Yes. Na montie de AC. No so share man be for more than 20 years ni. A day na AC. SVTV Africa Connect with the help of SVTV Africa fans. Mo share videos no. Ya bo amini se bebre ya mo chrom se ombeso ba o pese o ba me no beba. Me nji obi aska wa. Bra o hwehwe obi. Oh, free bont agodo. Then I hold it. Mema waka bibia o pese wo ka e betimi aboa ahwehwe no ba wo ka se meme ye ma wa wo hwehwe obi na wo hwehwe obi minim nipa no wo hwehwe no wo pese meme ka e na wo hwehwe we na so ni ko school an ene de menye ba wo ka se wo pese wo hwehwe oh meme wa ba o be ka wo hwehwe se ha no boa because na wo hwehwe nipa no hu krobo say ye asumasi na me hwehwe no oh se ne be boa madam say subscribe to your channel for more. Share more chroma. Say tour. No, I just tour.
This Airbnb in Dansoman Estate, Accra, is only $40 a day and offers all the amenities for a comfortable stay. It is also conveniently located 30 minutes away from the airport. We also have 1 and 2 bedroom apartments for long-term rental at Ingleshi, Amamprum, 15 minutes to the Waiver toll booth and the West Hills Mall, going for 1,500 and 1,000 Ghana cedis only. Call Parry Group on 053-866-3532, 053-866-3532. This is Parry Group of Companies.